Hello, how is everybody doing today? And this is the tropical update for 6/17/2020. And I'm gonna be do not two updates today, but I'm only gonna be focusing on the Pacific at the moment because in the next 48 hours there's nothing going on in the Atlantic, and in the next 5 days there's nothing going on in the Atlantic. So both of these, the Invest 94L and this disturbance down here are no longer a part of the National Hurricane Center forecast. However, we do have a disturbance here in the Eastern Pacific that has a 20% chance of development in the next 5 days and 0% in the next 48 hours. A broad area of low pressure is expected to form well south of the southern coast of Mexico in a couple of days. Some slow development of this system is possible through early next week while the low moves westward offshore of Mexico. So there is a chance of something developing here. Now, usually in June, we're a lot more active than this because usually in June we get a storm train forming, and so far we're not seeing that yet, and that is definitely the handiwork of the La Nina going on in the equator here. That's really like stomping out anything that tries to form here. And well, the developing La Nina, anyways, because these water temperatures down here are really, really cold, and I'll show you that here in a few moments. But yeah, this is the system we're watching in the Eastern Pacific, and this is probably, it's either, I think this is the system right here that we're looking at. Maybe? Right here, 100 degrees west. 100 degrees west. No, it's these little things right here that we're looking at probably. Or this thing. Either way, these are pretty robust waves that are in this conveyor belt of tropical moisture that is pretty much 10 degrees north, and it just stretches all the way to Central America here. As you can see, most of these waves are pretty robust here, but I think this thing right here is what we need to be paying attention to. There was a recent blow up in activity, but that's died down a little bit. We're just gonna have to see what happens with this going forward. But the odds are gonna probably increase for this to form, just because of the water temperatures here. I need to check out the shear, which we will here soon. All right, we're gonna check out the GFS for the Eastern Pacific system. Yes, I do believe this is the system right here. It's either this or this right here. So we're gonna take a look at what the wind shear values are here. Shear values is only at 12 knots, so the shear is the favorable for this to develop if it chooses to do so. There's nothing holding this back. There's no dry air. The wind shear is low. Maybe we will see a B-named storm a little more than a month after the season starts in the Eastern Pacific. We're just gonna have to wait to find out. So we're gonna go out in future here, and as you can see, 24 hours out, you see this low pressure start to form right here. It's 1,009 millibars. It's not quite a tropical depression yet, but it's definitely a deep tropical disturbance that is closing in on being a tropical depression status. And you see that it tries to close off, and then we got 1,008 in the 72 hours out. And as you can see, it's all ragged here. And we got a few disturbances here and here, but we're not going to be focusing on those because I don't think anything will come out of those. 120 out. As you can see, there is some energy trying to bundle together here, but it's nothing of any coincidence. So Oh, we're just gonna have to wait and see what it does here in the next 5 days. You know, because this can change easily on a drop of a dime. And then we got this little system to pay attention to. Who knows what that's gonna do? If it's gonna go towards Hawaii or not. Once again, we'll just have to wait and see. Here is the European model, and I think this is our abundant energy right in here, because you can see the kind of the rotation in the wind barbs here. So this is probably our system right in here. Let's go out in time. As you can see, yep, right in here. No, that's 168 hours out. All right. I think this is where it's at right here. As you can see, this is pretty elongated, closed isotherm here. But you can see this is where it's at because of the rotation in the wind barbs here. And right now I want to show why this is all getting snuffed out a little bit here. If I can find ocean analysis. Here it is. This is the Nino 3.4 index, and as you can see, right at the beginning of March, we were really high up there. We were about a 0.7 degrees above normal, and as you can see, it just took a nosedive, you know, ever since then. And it didn't take us too long to get to this point of almost 0.6 degrees below average. It really didn't take us that long. It took us like 2 months to get there. But as you can see, it went up a little bit and then back down. It's gonna go back down again. So we're about at a 0.4 below average. And I do believe this will start being a downward trend again here real shortly. Now, this is what I wanted to show you. This is definitely a La Nina, and this has been persisting for quite a bit now, to be honest. I think it's been there for about a month now, and it still needs to go about another 2, 3, 4 months before this is considered a La Nina. And this is the whole reason why, you know, as you guys know, the Eastern Pacific hurricane season started May 15th, and now we're here in June 17th, and we only seen one named storm, just one. And like I said before, normally around this time of June we start to have a wave of storms coming run one after another, but we're not seeing that, at least not yet. We still have 13, 14 more days left to go in June, so you know, anything can change between now and then. That's why I always say we're just gonna have to wait and see what happens. And I don't know, you normally go more than 5 days out unless I necessarily have to, you know. But as you see, we're negative 0.5 degrees below average here. We're really getting it here. This La Nina is looking thick. Thick. That is why the Atlantic is going to be ready to freaking go here at any given moment. And there is a Kelvin wave that's supposed to be coming in sometime on June 25th and lasting through July 15th. So anywhere between those two time frames, the Atlantic is going to probably see a system or two, maybe even 3, depending how conditions go, to form during that Kelvin wave that comes in. And as you can see here in the Atlantic equatorial, we have a Atlantic La Nina that is setting up here as well. So that's going to help fuel these African easterlies here That's why, you know, that's why this June we've already seen a couple of robust tropical waves come off of Africa, and that's kind of worrying. So, you know, going forward into July, August, September, October, I feel like the main development region is going to be spitting out a significant amount of tropical storms, at least. And the Caribbean and Gulf of Mexico are probably going to be spitting out quite a bit of storms as well. So, once again, we're just going to have to wait and see. And I'm going to be with you guys here throughout the whole thing. Anyways, I want to thank you guys for watching. This is the tropical update for today, and I'll have another video for you guys tomorrow.